Instability of colonial administration. It was in the 19th century when Giza lived for the firm at events caused by varying sides of leadership, changes in government liberation, violence, and war which heavily affected the lives and fortunes of mankind. The Filipino people agonized beneath the yoke of Spanish rule, for they were unfortunate victims of the evils of an unjust, bigoted, and deteriorating colonial power. The struggles between the forces of despotism and liberalism in Spain all started with King Ferdinand V. His turbulent reign, which brought about visible of Spanish politics, marked the beginning of chaos in Spain and her colonies. From 1834 to 1862, Spain had adopted constitutions, elected 28 parliaments, and installed no less than 429 ministries, with portfolios followed in by subsequent years by party revolutions and other political upheavals. The political instability in Spain adversely affected Philippine affairs because it brought about periodic shifts in colonial policies and region of colonial officials. This frequent change of the administration hampered down the economic and political conditions of the country. It grew from bad to worse at that time. They hardly had one governor-general begin his administration when he was soon replaced by its successor. Naturally, no chief executive, no matter how able and reliable he was, could accomplish much for the colony. For instance, from 1853 to 1897, the Philippines was ruled by the 50 governor-generals, with each serving an average time of a year and 3 months. At one time, from December of 1853 to November of 1854, which is a period of less than a year, there were 4 governor-generals. An anecdote was told as follows: in the year 1850, a Spanish jurist was appointed oidor or magistrate of the loyal, left Madrid with his whole family and took the longer route, the Cape of Good Hope, arriving in Manila after the 6 months leisure trip. Much to his surprise and discomfiture, he found out that another jurist had talked about his position during the span of his trip in the ministry, which appointed him fell in Madrid, and the succeeding ministry named his replacement. These new jurors traveled faster, taking the shorter route by the estimates of Zeus and Richmond in the faster. Furthermore, the colonial officials sent by Spain in the 19th century were a far cry from their able and dedicated procedures. The Secret de Oro, which produced Miguel Cervantes, Lopez, and other glories of Hispanic nation of 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. Instead, the Philippines received Lieutenant General Rafael Esparto, appointed by King Amade on April 4, 1871, with a crucifix in one hand and sword in the other hand. Restored press censor, prohibited all the top political matters as well as civilization of the parishes, disapproved and establishment of arts and trades in Manila, and finally dismissed natives and mestizos in the civil and military service. He was the infamous Governor-General whose abolition of the exemption of the Filipino workers from polo and being tributes caused Avid immunity in January 1872, and execution of the innocent Comboza in February of the same year. In February of the same year, another was The corrupt General Toriana Waller, who arrived and returned to Spain a millionaire. He was a true giant because of his brutal persecution of the Calamitans. For the rest, they were as low as the accept bribes and gifts to favor someone. Social structures. The Filipino in the 19th century had suffered from feudalistic and master-servant relationship by the Spaniards. The social structure is run into three groups. The first being the highest class. People that belong in the class include the Spaniards, Peninsulars, and the fair friars. They have the power and authority to rule over the Filipino, and they enjoyed their positions that enable them to do what they want. The Peninsulars and the Spaniards who were born in Spain are the most important governor jobs and made up the smallest number of the population. The friars are members of any certain religious order of men. Next, we have the middle class. The people that belong into this class includes the native mestizos and the Creoles. Native are the pure Filipinos. The mestizos are the indigenous Filipinos with mixed European or Chinese ancestries. And finally, the Creoles are people from Spanish South or Central America, especially one of pure Spanish descent. Lately, we have the lowest class. This class includes the Filipino only. The indigenous are the poor people having pure Filipino blood.